We can talk about excuses all we want to, but the reality of the situation is let's rewind the clock a little bit. Even with the Clippers assembling who they assembled, to use your words, parachuting in two of the best players in the world on a 48-win team, I still pick the Lakers, and here's why. Because when you looked at Avery Bradley with a Rondo, with a LeBron, with an Anthony Davis, and some of the supplementary parts, my attitude is that if you're the Clippers, first of all, chemistry is going to be an issue because you're going to engage in load management with Kawhi. I'm talking about what our thoughts were at the beginning of the season. You're going to engage in load management as it pertains to Kawhi. Paul George had his surgery. He had to reacclimate himself into things. They weren't going to be on the floor, but so much. Then you had to concern yourself with too many basketballs because of the other pieces that they acquired. Montrezl Harrell looking for a new contract, et cetera, et cetera. All of these things factored into the equation. So you thought about it, and you said, the Lakers match up pretty well with the Clippers, just like the Clippers match up pretty well with them. It's going to come down to who has a better regular season, who has home court advantage, even though they're both in L.A. We'll see where that goes. I still put my money on LeBron and AD under those circumstances. But what has happened because of the bubble is that you no longer have to concern yourself with load management with Kawhi Leonard because you've been going for 4.5 months. There's only 8 regular seasons games to go before the playoffs begin. If you remember last year, even though he only played 60 of the 82 games for Toronto, come playoff time, he averaged 39 minutes per game. He led everybody in minutes played in the postseason last year. So we know what he's getting geared for, and you don't have to worry about load management. Plus that time allotted Paul George to get fully healthy, et cetera, et cetera. And then you combine that with 2 of your guards for the Lakers being gone, the onus being placed on LeBron James. Then you look at a team like Houston. Maybe they'd play the Clippers in the second round. Maybe they'd play the Lakers. We don't know as of yet. We'll see how that pans out. But you're looking at Russell Westbrook suddenly veer away from attempting three-pointers, and he's attacking the basket with fervor. He's kicking it out to open shooters. Mike D'Antoni changed because they traded Clint Capella. They've gone small. They got Covington in that lineup. They got Gerald Green back with Harden, with Westbrook, with House, and all of these boys. And all of a sudden, Houston is a completely different team than they were at the beginning of the season. So it's not about an excuse is all I'm trying to say, Max. We're allowed to sit up there and look at the changes that took place because of the pandemic and modify our thinking to some degree. That's why I say I'm concerned.
But look, if coming back to the bubble, the Clippers were missing Patrick Beverley and someone else, I would also say, wait a minute, it was close between the Lakers and the Clippers, and this could tip the scales. But one of my thought process, my reasoning, one of them, several, that I like the Clippers over the Lakers. I'm going to keep it to Clippers and Lakers right now. We know the Rockets have a puncher's chance or better this season, as they normally do. But the Lakers, you look at the way they're assembled, and I think next year they'll have a better chance than this year. Because usually when you put those stars together, you have to use so many resources that you can't get the details right. They lucked up, and also skill in the front office with Dwight Howard and Avery Bradley, right? But the Lakers were going to rely on the chemistry being just right, on LeBron getting the team firing on all cylinders just at the right time. Whereas what teams really do well in the playoffs traditionally, those ISO half-court teams like the Clippers with superstars, 2 wing players who play in that style team, that half-court ISO, and we're going to defend the wings team. That's traditionally the quickest kind of formula. The one that relies least on chemistry, that's what the Clippers have.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.